welcome back, everybody, to your favorite part of Mondays. Not football, nothing else. I was going to say going back to work, but that's never anybody's favorite part of the week. So, let me not lie, because, if you're doing what I'm doing, watching on ESPN right now, that might be a fun job to have. But, nobody else, start of school, start of the work week, But other than football on this show, there's nothing good about Monday. So we're here to brighten your night, okay? Not your day, because it's already nighttime. So, Josh, how are you doing, my friend?
It's been an interesting day. I woke up this morning, and I don't know how you sleep, but I can't sleep like flat on my back.
That's the only way I can fall asleep.
That's impossible. I'm on the side or I'm on my stomach, and I don't know. I woke up this morning and I was on my left side, and I get up and I turn my head and my ear just starts throbbing. I don't know why. It just starts hurting so bad, and I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna give it a couple days, see if it goes away. But I don't like it. I don't. I hate it. It's annoying. I got one headphone in. I can't put the other one in. It hurts.
Oh, Josh, poor guy. You feel bad for him sometimes, people. Sometimes, not often.
I've had a healthy life, but this year, just the most random stuff happening. I don't like it. I don't like getting older. It's not good. Science.
They say, Josh. They always warn us. They say never get old.
I know, and I wish there was a way to not, but that science is still working on that. So
it's getting there. One of these days, maybe.
Yeah.
You know what, Josh? I'm going to start the show in a way that we haven't done in a long time. Because you know what? I was updating our ticker, and blah blah blah. I was looking at some things, and I was like, what? We haven't done this in a very long time. But first of all, before I get into that, actually, I got to remind the people to make sure you go over to Twitch and make sure you go over to YouTube and go hit us with a follow on the Twitch and a subscribe on the YouTube, because we're getting there. People got 20 subs over there on the YouTube. We're at about let me check the account right now, Josh, to see where we are over there on the Twitter page. We're at 158 people. I told you, when we get to 100 on YouTube and 200 on the Twitter, we're giving away a gift card, an Amazon gift card, $100 Amazon gift card, by the way.
And I appreciate. We got to shout out the podcast listeners too, because they've been tuning into the podcast lately. I appreciate you guys.
Listen, I said I talked about the Chargers for him the one time. My boy Frankie went to high school with him. It seems like every week now I get a little update that he listened to the pod like we were doing. So shout out to the people. We like feedback on the podcast. So tell us what we're doing right. Tell us what we're doing wrong. We're still young. We're learning. So if you like something, tell us. If you don't like something, tell us. We're not going to get mad. I mean, I might.
Yeah, he will. He will.
Fine. Because I think we're perfect, Josh, by the way.
I think we're almost there.
But listen, $100 Amazon gift card. Do a random subscriber, random follower. So make sure you do both of those things, okay, people? We're trying to give you money. It's free. It's literally free. Exactly. But anyway, Josh, I'm going to start the show in a way we haven't done in a long time. And do you know what? Do you know where I'm going with this?
Or did you get a Who Am I?
I got a Who Am I?
I did not see this coming at all.
You know what? I didn't think you would. So I thought that, I was looking at the banners and stuff. I was like, we haven't done a Who Am I in a very, very long time. And I decided, you know what? We have to break the streak. We have to. There's no choice. So, Josh, in honor of National Tight Ends Day yesterday, I have found a tight end. I wouldn't even say that this one's difficult. It's easy. I'll ease you back right into it. And listen, people, if you're new here, I'm going to give Josh some hints. So I'm going to give him 45 seconds on the clock. And if he can guess, actually, no, we didn't do 45 seconds. Didn't we do like a minute?
I don't think it was even that long. I think it was like 45 seconds. It wasn't super long.
Well, fine. You're getting 45 seconds then to guess this player. And, of course, when I give the first hint is when I start the timer. So, you ready, Josh?
I am ready.
All right. So, I was a first-round pick in 2003. Number 24 overall, if that matters to you.
Okay.
Let's see. I played for 3 teams in my career. One of them I'm very well known for. The other 2, pit stops. I don't want to give the teams away. I feel like it might be a little obvious if I do. but we'll see if you can get it without the teams. I am a one-time Super Bowl champion. Made the Pro Bowl once. I got 5,665 receiving yards in my career, 53 touchdowns. Let's see, where does this man go to college, huh? Let's find out for you. University of Iowa.
Okay. Iowa guys. There's a lot of Iowa guys currently, but when I think of older,
You're already past the 45, so there's no way we didn't give ourselves more than 45 seconds. There's no way. I think we gave ourselves a minute 30.
Something like that. I don't know, but Iowa Tight End.
All right, Josh, I'll give you the last two teams he played on because the first one gives it away, I think.
Okay.
He finished his career with Tampa and the Ravens.
In that order?
Yes. Retired in 2013.
2013. Ravens. Iowa. There's an older Iowa tight end that I know it's him, but I can't think of his name.
I'll give you the final big hint if you want it, or you want to try to figure it out.
Give me a couple more seconds.
Okay.
Ravens 2013.
How about this? They beat the Bears in his Super Bowl win.
So he was on the Colts, so it's... Who was the Colts tight end? Who was the Colts tight end?
I don't know, Josh, you got to tell me.
It's not... Who? Dallas Clark. Dallas Clark.
Yes, sir.
He played for Tampa? Didn't know he played for Tampa.
He played for Tampa and the Ravens to finish his career. To spend 1 year with the Bucs in 2012, 1 year with the Ravens 2013.
See, because I know Iowa tight ends. Like when you said Iowa, I thought I'd know it instantly, but I couldn't think of his name. But like George Kittle, T.J. Hawkinson, guys like Iowa's a tight end factory. So I was like, there's one guy that was a while ago who played there because they all won the same. They all won the.
See, now you see why I didn't give you the Colts though right away. I felt like he gave it away a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It still took me a minute when you said they beat the Bears in the Super Bowl. I knew that was the Colts, and it still took me.
Well, technically, you got it at the 2 minute and 5 second mark.
Listen,
so
this is the first time back. It was a spur of the
Josh.
moment.
I'm just giving it to you. I'm still giving it to you. Don't worry. Don't get too offensive there, guy. We'll be all right. But yeah, I thought I'd bring back the Who Am I for a week.
Maybe I'll have one for you next week.
Okay, I was gonna say maybe we'll see if we can fit it in here and there.
Yeah.
But we go from that to what I assume is gonna be the first ever generational sports movie review. Because Josh has put on the Google Doc hashtag make movies scary again. So Josh, go for it. Because I assume we're talking about Halloween here.
We are talking about Halloween, and I'm a big scary movie guy. I used to not be, used to hate it. In fact, one movie I will never watch because I probably wouldn't be scared of it now. Monster House. Tried watching it once as a kid.
Terrifying.
Once as a kid, could not ever do it again.
Terrifying.
But over the years, I've become a big scary movie guy. Love Michael Myers. Love all the Halloween movies.
Okay.
But this one was just. Not only was it not scary, because I'm tired of this, we're just going to make the music really loud and it's going to come out of nowhere. That's not scary. It makes me jump a little bit, but that's just because it's like, well, why'd you do that? Like, it's annoying. But not only wasn't it not scary, it was dumb. It was so dumb and such a disappointing movie. Like, just, have you seen it? Have you seen it yet?
Josh, you lost me at the scary movie part. And you know what? Here's why. I forever will say scary movies are the dumbest genre that's possibly out there.
It probably is.
There is nothing I hate more than a scary movie. It's not because I'm scared of them. Some of them are very scary. What's that movie? Insidious?
Yeah, those are terrifying, dude. Those ones get
No, I don't think it is.
Or Conjuring. You talk about the Conjuring movies?
I feel like it's something else. Maybe it is Insidious. I can't remember. All I remember is the one scene where like the entire family is tied to like pool chairs.
That's that is Insidious.
Is it?
No,
I don't think it is.
It's not, but that movie's pretty weird too. It's
But
like a
that
guy's
movie,
living with the family.
scary, very scary. But I don't know. I feel like all of them are the same thing. Because I'll tell you what's going to happen in every scary movie. Ready? The music, it's going to come up. You're going to start. You can get that little shiver down your spine. Oh my gosh, something's going to happen. Boom! They open the door. Music drops down because there was nobody there. No, there wasn't. Next thing you know, they close the door, turn around, bam! They're staring at him right in the window somehow. Every scary movie, it's the exact same thing every time. So you know what? Your boy has boycotted scary movies.
Well, I'll go ahead because you're obviously not going to see this movie, and even if you like scary movies, I'd advise against it. But like there has to be some logic at some point. Like in the other Halloween movies, there are like it makes sense in the end. In this one, just some of the kills. Like there was this one kill. Michael Myers like just murked 3 people in a car, and some lady's coming up shooting a gun at him. And as she gets closer to the car, the gun is right in front of the door. He opens the door, it hits the gun, turns the gun
Sinister
on
is
her.
the movie I'm talking about, by the way.
Sinister. Yeah, those movies are good.
Now that's a scary movie.
But he opens the door as she's got the gun pointed at it. It hits her hand, turns the gun, and she pulls the trigger and shoots herself in the head. I'm like, that is the dumbest kill I've ever seen. And then they're all in the hospital and they think they see Michael Myers, but no one's ever seen him without a mask, so they just follow this crazy guy through the hospital where he's just running around town killing everybody. It was just so stupid and disappointing.
And you know what, Josh? I saw on Twitter one of the all-time smartest things I've ever seen that actually ruined scary movies for me forever. I mean, I saw it 2 days ago and scary movies were already ruined, but this really did it for me. So, Michael Myers has been, decimating the same town every year on the same night. And, they move into or people move into a house. Everybody says it's haunted, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. You just never thought about moving?
That's what I think, too.
Like even Batman, bro. Even Batman, Gotham. Everybody's out there getting murked that night.
Why do people live there? Like, what?
Yeah,
why
are you living there? Listen, for one night out of the year on Halloween, if you live in the town Michael Myers does, just get a hotel in the next town over. Yeah, Michael Myers is going to crawl out of the lake and not even know what to do. He's going to go right back in. It's going to be like that scene for Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
This movie, like, the whole town comes together and goes to kill him. And they kill him. Like, they stab him, they beat the crap out of him. And then he just gets up and kills them all. Like, for no reason. Like, he just gets up and they're all dead. It's like why? It's stupid.
Makes sense. I mean, honestly, it makes perfect sense to me. But I say we move on from generational movie reviews and go back to the sports part of everything. And Josh, tell me all about UFC 267, because it's probably a UFC that I watch, but I don't really keep up to it. You know what I do? I let you do that, and then when the show comes on, I watch it, and then I pretend to act like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I think the card, it's a pretty deep card. I mean, I even think the early prelims have some good fights, and Dana White usually does a pretty good job at stacking the early fights of the day to kick it off right and get people to keep watching before the main card. But compared to what's coming up next week, not this upcoming weekend, but the weekend after, Usman Covington too, that fight card is just stacked, so this one really doesn't compare to it. But I think the co-main and main are going to be very good. This was supposed to be a 2-title fight card, but Aljamain Sterling got injured, and he is currently the champ, not the real champ, because he won by disqualification. But Petr Yan is now fighting Corey Sandhagen. The last time he fought was against TJ Dillashaw in his first fight back. And I thought he won that, but he wound up losing.
Fight, I remember
very good fight. Yeah, he wound up losing by a split decision. I thought he could have easily won that. But I think this fight will be really good. I think it's going to be a lot more entertaining than maybe Petr Yan versus Aljamain would have been, because I think Petr, whenever they do fight eventually for the title again, I think Petr's going to knock him out. I don't think there's any chance Aljamain beats him, because he wasn't going to win that fight before the knee to the ground. But yeah, I think that fight should be really good. I wish it was a title fight. I don't think Aljamain should have the belt. I think it should just be vacant. But it's not like that. Unfortunately, they only do.
We got our resident UFC professional in here, Alucard. host of they're one of the co-hosts. I don't know, host, co-host. Wearing a lot of shoes over there at Fights Unwrapped. So this is the real champ
I
fight.
agree. I agree. I think whoever wins this fight, I think they're the best in that division, and I think they deserve to be champion. I think both of these guys beat Aljamain Sterling easily. Not saying that Aljamain's a terrible fighter. I just think these guys are better. But then the main event,
Hold on, Josh. 1 second. 1 second. Alec, if you're still here, drop your predictions for us real quick in the comments. If you got your time, drop your predictions. I'd love to show the people what you think.
Yeah. But the main event, John Blakovic, I don't think I'm saying that right, versus Glover Teixeira. But I think, Blakovic, his last fight was when Adesanya was trying to become the double champ. And when he got Adesanya to the ground, he just had zero chance to do anything against him. So I think when you look at like champs in their division, guys like Usman, guys like Ngannou and Adesanya, I think Blakovic is right up there with them as how dominant they are and how it's not really close with guys near them. And he's fighting Glover Teixeira, who he's on I think he's on a 6-fight win streak. He's a veteran, but he looks like he's as good as he has ever been. I think this fight should be really good. I still think Blakovic will be the champ at the end of it. I just think he's that good, that technical, and he's amazing on the ground. He knows how to control it, knows how to keep himself in the positions where he's winning the round. So I think he's going to win it. So for the co-main and main, I'm going to go with Petr Yan, but I'm going to root for Corey Sandhagen. I'm a big Corey Sandhagen fan, but I'm going to go with Petr Yan, and I think Jan Blachowicz retains the title.
Well, you know what? We're going to find out because I have no idea what's going to happen. I don't sit here and pretend I know these things, people. Listen, you know what I do? I heard that I heard that there's going to be a fight. I find a, legal stream, of course. Watch it, pay for it, in fact, and then come back on the show and pretend to be smart. But these are Mr. Alec Carr's official predictions. Not only
Jimmy
for
Evans is a beast.
Not only for the main event, man, went down the whole card. Now it's
a very good. It's a stacked main card. It's just I don't know enough about these fighters to really talk about it, and you barely know the main event guys, so I don't think you really know what to say about
Josh. How dare you? I like to think of myself as a UFC savant.
All right, but it's a very stacked card. I think it's underrated. Just looking ahead at the future, like UFC 268 is going to be just a show. So I think this card is just a little bit underrated, but there are some very, very good fights on this card.
And people, as you notice, Alec is a legend over there on the YouTube. So like I said before, go subscribe to the YouTube, Generational Sports. In the comments, we love talking to the people. But Josh, I say we move on from there. And we'll get right into not the NFL people. No. NFL, believe it or not, next on the schedule. Right now, we're going to dive in to the NBA. Because guess what? The NBA is officially back now. We had opening week. We got everything settled. We already got LeBron flopping and staying down for 16 minutes, even though he barely got touched. We got fancy dunks. We got Ja making levitating bro. We'll get into Ja because at least I don't know if we will. I will. I know I will.
I'm also going to talk about
it. But Josh, you got any takeaways, big thoughts, anything on NBA Week 1?
Honestly, I mean, just with how crazy the 2 seasons prior to this were, this season with the COVID stoppage, then going to the bubble, and then last season just being rushed so quickly, I think the start to this season has been the best in a long time. It feels like it's just been such good basketball. I mean, everybody's there's only a few guys out there that are really injured that have carried over, but mostly everybody's healthy. And it's just been amazing basketball, young players coming out of their shell, starting to become stars. But just a couple things. I think the new foul rule where you can't pump fake and then jump into the defender, it's hurting some players who get to the line a lot, including the beard, James Harden. But I think people are kind of taking it too far with they're Harden's washed now. He only wins. He only has good numbers because of that. It's no, He just has to adjust a little bit too because it was so easy for him to get to the line and shoot 17 free throws. Now he has to adjust his game a little bit. That's all it is. But I mean, he's still putting up 20 and 8 without getting to a strong suit, which is getting fouled and getting to the line. And the Lakers, I know everyone has been clowning them when they got beat by 30 to the Suns and everything. And they're not going to be a high seed this year because they're not gonna try to. They know what they're made of. They know they're not built to go and win 60-plus games. But I do think they have some very big issues. I think they looked a lot better last night against the Grizzlies. I thought the LeBron and then getting a screen from Russell Westbrook on a pick and roll, I love that. I think that should be their bread and butter. I don't think having the ball in Russ's hand and letting him create is going to work with them because they don't have lethal shooters everywhere. I mean, they're starting DeAndre Jordan, Kent Bazemore, and Russ can't shoot to save his life. I mean, AD might be the best shooter in the starting lineup, which is not ideal, but I think they looked really, really improved last night. And I like to see that because it's only 3 games in and they made adjustments that quickly. So that's what I think having a veteran team like they have is really going to help. And then a surprise team for me, not really surprised because I love their roster, the Timberwolves. I think Anthony Edwards is easily going to average 25 plus this year. The man's a walking bucket. He can dunk on everybody. We all know how good Cat is. D'Angelo Russell is kind of finding himself in that offense, and they have good role players. I think they could be a team that fights for a play-in spot and maybe sneaks into the playoffs. I think they finally have something going. And the Bulls, man, it's been a little while since we've seen Chicago have a fun team since the Derrick Rose days. There were some ugly seasons, but they're back. Lonzo looks great. Caruso, I mean, he's probably going to be an all-star just because they love to vote for Caruso. He's going to be in the conversation at least. But, yeah, they're back. And then, like we were saying earlier, John Morant has elevated his game to superstar level. He's not in that he's a rising star. He's a young player. He's a superstar now. That man is insane. I mean, his game just has taken a whole nother step. He can shoot now. He doesn't just attack the basket. He can shoot threes now. And the guy in that same conversation that I would say has elevated his game to young player to superstar already, LaMelo Ball. I think that guy's a superstar too. He is insane. But yeah, those are my takeaways for the beginning of the season. But also Denver, why is Jeff Green getting 2 more shots a game than Michael Porter Jr.? Like, why?
My MVP, by the way.
Yeah, why is that happening? Like, it makes no sense. But yeah, it's been a great start to the season.
Yeah, I locked in the first couple nights, and then I tail off a little bit. Obviously, I've said it before that the NBA, NBA, it's the new NBA, by the way. Sometimes this is my bread and butter. I don't know. It just doesn't interest me as much as the other sports that I'm into do. But I think the big thing that I've noticed so far, like you said, is the whole foul situation where you can't really just all of a sudden somebody's in the air and you can dive into them basically like you're playing Call of Duty and it's a foul on the defender and not you. And I think it is going to take some getting used to, especially for James Harden, who, I mean, let's face it, he got to the free throw line the most out of any player by far. Like, it wasn't even close, the past few years. So it's going to take some time for him to adjust to it. Obviously, I think he's going to. And, Brooklyn's 1-2, I believe. They lost to the Hornets. They lost on opening night to the Bucks. Like, nobody cares.
They're still the favorites.
It
doesn't change. They could be the 8th.
Especially because if Patty Mills keeps playing like he's on the the Australian national team.
He brought his Olympic Patty Mills is in the NBA now.
If Olympic Patty Mills is going to stay, then it's really over because we thought that they were going to be nice with KD and Harden, and maybe if Kyrie ever plays again. Meanwhile, he's got people at the Barclays Center trying to break in for him.
What?
Which, by the way, it's not a Nets thing, guys. In case you guys didn't know, it's a New York City thing. So if you want to protest, City Hall's probably down the block.
They were trying to break in. Like, what were you gonna do if you got what were you gonna do if you broke in there? Like, what we were gonna go and kill the Nets owners and stuff? Yeah, like nobody's playing. There's nobody there right now. Like, what are you doing?
But yeah, and then like you said, for the Lakers, they're weird to me. Like I mean, Laker hater, probably for sure. but I definitely don't have that much faith in them. And it's not because of the start; it's because of how they're constructed. And like you said, there's times where Anthony Davis is the best shooter on the floor, and that's to make an NFL reference, that's like playing in the 1940s.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do they not realize? Have they not seen their own conference, which by the way has the Warriors in it, who can only shoot threes? That's how you're supposed to win in the NBA these days. Like that's where the game is going, and you can't have Anthony Davis being the best shooter on the floor. LeBron will make his, will be hot one night. Maybe if the NBA gods come down, Russell Westbrook will get a hot shooting night. But day in and day out, you need a bucket, and they can get them, at the basket. But it's simple math here. That's why the analytics have invaded the NBA because three is greater than two. And you can miss a lot more, threes than you can miss twos because at the end of the day, it kind of evens out. And I just don't. I think they're good. What are they, Josh? You think I'm crazy? You're thinking that they'll be a bottom team in the NBA in shooting?
No, they'll definitely be down there just because, I mean, they have a couple shooters on the team. Austin Reeves is a guy they basically have had on the roster since last year because he forego his senior year, didn't go to the draft just because he knew he wouldn't be on the Lakers and they wanted him. And he's a lights out shooter. Wayne Ellington's a lights out shooter, but they're not going to get the minutes because they're going to play DeAndre Jordan. They're going to play Dwight Howard. They're going to play those guys. So I 100% agree. They're not going to be a good shooting team in the league.
Yeah, I mean that's just a weird construction of a team. Like I said, especially nowadays. And then just to move on from there, the two people that you mentioned, and I wouldn't say that I don't like the Ball brothers. I hate their dad. He still annoys me.
He's the best dad out there, man.
Listen, I don't. No. Top
You
five.
you don't like supportive dads?
There was nothing worse in sports history than when that man was on every talk show every day.
What did he say to Molly? What did he say to her?
I just remember him saying that Jason Whitlock likes to eat or something.
He was so
on the Cowherd show. I don't remember what he said to Molly.
He said something. It was funny. Yeah, but he got a band on that show.
He's always annoyed me. So I guess I'm more of a hater of him, and well, it kind of turned me into a hater of the boys as well. But there's no denying it now. You look at LaMelo in high school and stuff like that. It was kind of, he scored 92 and 85 of them were cherry picking.
Yeah.
So even from there, I was like, this is really going to translate to the NBA. And well, guess what? When you're wrong because it's translated all right.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know where he'll end up this year, but that's a candidate for most improved player. I don't see why it can't be. I mean, he's playing unbelievable. And listen, I don't know if Ja can win it either because he's been, good in his previous years. But let me tell you something. It's a layup. But that layup he made against the Lakers,
disgusting,
was unbelievable. The man is floating through the air like a holy ghost, floating right through the air. So, there's definitely going to be some players that are going to improve this year. And then let me say one more thing, and this is going to make CJ happy. I hope CJ's in here. Who would have thought that the best thing in New York, our New York saving grace, was going to be Knicks basketball? They might have a little bit of a squad here. I might have to hit up MSG. Never did I think I would ever say that, but I might just have to hit up MSG, go to a nice little Knick game, because you got Randall, who seems to still be playing at that level he was last year. Obviously, if you're a Knicks fan, you got to hope and pray that last year wasn't an outlier year, and that he'll continue to play that way. Kemba's obviously going to get assimilated into the team, but that first game against the Celtics, that was
Fournier, man. That everyone clowned them. Everyone clowned the Knicks for giving him that bag and bringing him to improve the team, but he has been hooping. And Obi Toppin didn't have a great rookie year. He's showing up now too. The Knicks are back.
Listen, and we still got a nice little improvement from RJ Barrett. Like I said, Kemba will get there. And I think the biggest thing, and I definitely hear it more. Obviously, I'm in the New York market, so all the talk shows and everything talk about it. The underrated thing for the Knicks is Mitchell Robinson.
He's improved on not fouling. He just couldn't be on the court because he was fouling, but now he's not, and he is great. He's great.
And last year too, the thing with him was he was hurt.
Yeah.
I think that series against the Hawks can be a lot different if he's there. Because what you forget is, I believe he set the record for field goal percentage in a season.
Yeah.
And
like
I mean, obviously he's taking, 2-footers. He's not out here hitting threes.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, you still got to make them no matter what.
Yeah.
So very impressive, for the next part on the next side of things. And listen, I hope that the Knicks are back. I really do, because New York will be a lot more fun. I'll say that. Because did you see the video?
Team?
You see the video after the Knicks beat the Celtics?
Yeah, they're going crazy.
New York loves the people.
Yeah, but on one thing, I feel like we'd be wrong not to touch on our team, the OKC Thunder. Obviously, we know winning 20 games this year would be a good year for us, so we're not looking to win. But I've been seeing some good improvements. Darius Bazley keeps getting better. Josh Giddey, I'm going to have to keep apologizing if he keeps playing like this, because I
saw that stat line.
I was very upset after we drafted him, but now I'm very, very happy we have him. He's a do-it-all type of guy. He's been very impressive this year, but also screw you, Joel Embiid, for trying to take his life on a dunk.
Yeah, did you hear what the announcer said?
Yeah, he said, no offense, Giddey, we don't really care about you. Is Joel?
He said I could care less, about Giddey, but it's scary when Joel goes down.
He's the one that jumped. He jumped. It was his fault. But I mean, we're looking okay. As improvement, but I mean, we lost by 32 to the Rockets, so it's going to be
that's
a long year.
Yeah, that's tough. That's what we would definitely call tough.
We're aiming for that number 1 pick in Chet Holmgren, so we can get a big name. That's the goal this year.
Josh, all I'm saying is, I was fantastic as the Thunder GM on 2K.
Yeah.
I mean, did I turn the salary cap off to make it more fun for me? Yes. But hey, it was still a great time.
Right.
We're currently, Josh, we're 6-time champions in a row. By the way, we're on a 6-peat right now.
You're on the Bulls dynasty level. That's
6-peat.
Is Shea still there at least? You still got Shea?
Yes, he is still there. I believe he's up to 94 right now. Okay. I think I'm in like the 2029 season though. So, I drafted Bronny James.
Hey.
Drafted Bronny. He's my shooting guard right now. Signed Giannis in free agency.
Hey.
I believe I signed Tatum in free agency. Listen, let me tell you something. Having salary cap off really makes things a lot more fun.
Yeah, a lot easier.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know how I can be with being an actual GM where I have to be responsible with money, but hey, just give me an unlimited budget. Be willing to pay that tax. But we move on from there to our NFL Week 7 recap, as we usually do. And Josh, we're going to get to the important games, as we always do, but we're going to start with our teams like we usually do as well. And there is a simple word that Josh has put underneath the Panther game. Josh, would you like to tell the people what that is?
You're done.
It's over.
Listen, I'm not going to talk about them too much. We suck. We suck. There's no way around it. I mean, hopefully we can be a Washington football team so we don't get swept by the NFC East. That would just be an awful thing to happen this year. At first when we traded for Sam Darnold, second and a fourth, didn't seem like that bad of a deal. The Jets look like they're winning that trade right now. It's not good. Giants were missing Saquon, Kenny Golladay, their starting left tackle. I don't even think Sterling Shepard played that game. We let Dante Pettis, who is a bust, go for about like 83 yards and a touchdown on us. Makes no sense because I thought we had good corners, but I guess we don't. 3 points. I mean, I think we both have said the Giants' defense is solid, but 3 points.
You know what the thing is, too, Josh? They haven't even been solid this year because you listen to any New York radio. They've been bad this year, in fact.
3 points, man. 3 points against them. Sam Darnold gets a safety. He spikes the ball into the ground in his own end zone like an idiot. It makes 2 awful throws in the red zone, 2 picks. James Bradbury after the game said he felt bad for us. The Giants, a Giants player, said they felt bad for us. That's how bad we are right I mean, it's just a tough time, and like I said, I'm a Google Doc. I'm done, man. I'm done. I said on the show I didn't get hype after the 3-0, but it was tough to not be like, hey, we might be okay this year. And now we've lost 4 straight, 3 of them against NFC East teams. I'm done, man. I'm just done.
Josh, it is a tough life. But hey,
let's start PJ Walker the rest of the year. PJ Walker needs to start the rest of the year. If we benched Sam this game, bench him the rest of the season.
See, that's my whole thing with it. I don't understand how you bench a quarterback in the game and then immediately in the post game and the next day say that he's your starter moving forward. Like,
did you hear Matt Rule's explanation for why he benched him?
For a reason.
Did you hear his explanation on why he benched him?
I did not.
He said maybe Sam could have found himself on the sideline. You're fired, Matt Rule. Just because of that quote alone, you're done. You are done.
They are looking for a nice person to take over at LSU.
And why is he smiling so damn much? Like, what is there to be happy about on that sideline? Joe Brady can go too, bro. Where's this offensive genius at? Where is it? Is it just Christian McCaffrey?
Listen, roll back the tape, people. Last week, Josh was talking about Matt Rule got to get fired so Joe Brady can take over.
Throw it all away.
How things change in 1 week.
David Tepper needs to offer Eric Bieniemy half of his net worth and get us into the full rebuild. Clean out the building, get the staff gone, bring in Eric Bieniemy, get Darnold gone.
Well, Josh, there could be a bright side. Maybe there's a bright side.
There's not. The bright side was the first 3 games.
No. Because you are one of 2 teams left in the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes.
Oh, wow. We might get a criminal quarterback who might play for us one day. For what? 3 firsts and 5 pick swaps? Like, what?
I would do it.
We're probably going to do it, and I'll probably be happy about it.
All I'm saying is he's a terrible person. Disgusting acts. They're all civil cases. Doesn't look like he's going to serve any time. He hasn't been suspended by the NFL. You can make the trade right now, have him start next week.
We'd probably still lose by 30 points, man.
No, I think that turns the whole franchise around, Josh.
If DJ Moore wasn't on this offense, we'd probably gain like 30 yards a game. Like that.
Now, Josh, here's the question. Here's the question that everybody wants to know. Deshaun Watson is traded to the Panthers. Do I see a Deshaun Watson jersey on that wall one day?
I doubt it, just depending on the court cases, because if he is charged and if all this is true, hell no, I will never order that jersey. It will never be put on that wall. But, if it comes out that somehow 20-plus women lied at the same time, then maybe I'll consider it. But I don't know.
Yeah, losing to the Giants is definitely a low light.
Yeah, it's not.
Especially when Daniel Jones is out here looking like the reincarnation of
Jesus. Like, it wasn't bad enough they beat us by 22, but he had to go out here and have his Odell moment, just a one-handed snag. Like, what is happening?
Right on the Panthers sideline to rub it in.
Yeah. It was weird. It was 3-5 at halftime. What the hell is that score? Like, are you kidding me? Like, what is happening?
But the Yankees are back on.
It was stupid. Yeah, it was like watching a baseball game, dude. That was stupid. I hate the Panthers, man. I hate it. It's not fun. This is not fun. Let's just sign Cam. Give us something.
Do you have a second favorite team that at least makes the year worth watching?
The Bears. Yeah, I'm super happy to just feel like
How did you get to that?
I live in Illinois. My dad's a Bears fan. I grew up a Bears fan. And now I'm a Panthers fan, so the Bears are my secondary.
So you grew up a Bear fan, and then you just swapped over to the Panthers?
We were not allowed to be anything. We were not allowed to be anything but Chicago fans for quite a while in my life.
Bandwagon confirmed. Do you hear this, people? Bandwagon confirmed.
Yeah, I bandwagoned onto the Carolina Panthers.
They were good for a stretch.
For a year. This is the team I've decided to ride with.
Cam is allergic to the playoffs in back-to-back years. I forgot, This isn't the Patriots. But anyway, it's tough life. Maybe next week you'll have 3 less first-round picks, but a Deshaun Watson on your team.
Yeah. Maybe he'll not be in jail. Who knows?
Hey, they're all civil cases right now. Just saying.
Let's just make it a three-team trade. I'll take Tua, bro. Give me
Oh
something.
no, you don't want to do that. Now you're just exaggerating. Nobody wants
It's
to.
funny because like last year we get Teddy, and we're like, we've never seen Teddy with these type of weapons. Maybe he'll be good. He sucks. This year we get Sam Darnold. We've never seen Sam Darnold with these type of weapons. He sucks too. And we gotta quit doing this. Just because DJ Moore is great does not mean these quarterbacks are going to be good.
Josh, you said to make the scary movies great again. I think you need the Panthers to be great again.
That's like when
Could you imagine this show, Josh, if the Panthers and Patriots met in the Super Bowl?
It would be so much more fun. It would be so much fun.
But you know what? The Patriots did win a Super Bowl this week. No, this week, Josh. Because word to the rock, laid the smacketh down.
Yeah, and you made our prayer circle look like crap.
Listen, Josh. It already looks bad from last year. We prayed for Joe Burrow and he tore an ACL.
Who cares, man? You guys injured a man that did not deserve it, okay? He did not deserve it.
No, he certainly didn't. But yeah, that was interesting. Because here's my and, I'm kind of in the same boat as you, Josh, where am I very happy that we just absolutely
50-piece, right?
Bodied 54.
Jesus.
54-13 was the win. And you know what the craziest part about that is? Mac Jones only had 307 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Like, I feel like he would have had a lot more.
You know what's also really cool? I was using the Underdog app, and Damian Harris was on my team that I drafted for that. So if you guys want to try to go win some money, code Gen Z, first deposit $10.
Look at that. It's on the ticker at the bottom, people. I got you know what? Now that you say that, before I even get into the Patriot game, I'll give you a nice little Monday Night Football one that I got brewing up right now. So, Josh, here's what we're looking at, and I'm going to hope it happens. I got Marquez Callaway over 46.5 yards. I'm feeling very confident on that.
He's going to catch one for 1 deep. He's going to get 1 deep.
Sure. I got Alvin Kamara over 4 receptions. Very confident. It's against the Seahawks. Who's covering him? Tell me. Nobody.
Bobby Wagner?
Nah, Bobby Wagner. See, if this was younger Bobby Wagner, I'm scared. Older Bobby Wagner, nervous, but not scared.
Blitzboy might pick him up a couple.
I hope he does, because then he's having 75 catches in the game. Then we got Alex Collins. And I thought this number was low, so I probably got tricked and I'm going to lose my money, but 47.5 rushing yards.
I saw that too. I feel like, Saints defense is good, but Alex Collins had like what, 106?
He popped 48 yards. That ain't asking too much. Then I assume that the Seahawks are going to be down a little bit. So I got Geno Smith over 18.5 completions. He hit it last week. I don't see why he can't hit it again. And then to end it all out, Jameis Winston, 17.5 completions. Now listen, I know they probably want to keep the ball on the ground. Jameis is a little bit of a wild card. But 17.5? Come on.
I mean, where's the game? Is it in Seattle?
It's in Seattle. But still.
It might be raining a little bit.
Josh, it is raining. It is going to be raining in this game.
A couple drops.
That's 10 completions in 2 halves. Come on.
Yeah. You never know. I thought Brady 30 was easy against the Patriots, but
yeah, well, that game didn't really go as anybody planned.
It really did,
including me. I had about a 35-point blowout in that one, and didn't go that way. But what did go our way was this game, and like I said, I try not to get too happy because now I'm just looking at the Patriots schedule, and this is only the second time we've put up. Nope, the first time we've put up more than 30 points. So, is there something to be glad about? Sure. I mean, because you look at the trend. Last week, we put up 29 against the Cowboys. Their defense has been all right this year. I wouldn't say that they're not anything crazy. And then you put up 54. Now, listen, I know that it's the Jets, but it's still a professional football team. And you don't steal. Well, yeah, But listen, the Cardinals didn't put up 54 against the Texans. And
I thought they were going to lose that after the first quarter.
I thought the Lions were going to win.
Dude, not fair. They should have won that. They really should have.
They're in our prayer circle forever. But, looking at, we got some winnable games possibly coming up. Now, this next game is
You're
against
gonna
the
beat us, that's
Chargers.
for sure.
This next game is against the Chargers. I don't know. I'm a little nervous about that one. Because, like I said, Herbert might be in the MVP race.
You guys, I was looking at the odds today for games. You guys aren't. I think it's only like 5 points that they're giving you guys. So they think you guys should go in there and get the job done.
It's a let's see. I'll tell you right now. Yeah, -5.5 for the Chargers. Now remember, last year too, Patriots beat them 42-0. I'm just saying, just throwing it
It's
out.
A little
there.
different. Justin Herbert's not a baby number.
Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. Then the Panthers. Well, we all know, terrible.
I'm still gonna pick.
What did you say?
Still gonna pick my boys. never.
Then we play the Browns, but I don't know how healthy the Browns will be at that point. Now that is in 3 weeks, but still a lot can happen in 3 weeks. Falcons, we all know how that goes. They'll end up losing somehow. Now this Titan game,
They're actually the favorites against us this week.
What happened?
Falcons are actually favored against us this week.
Yeah, see, that's tough. That shouldn't happen. But there's some possible wins out here in the schedule. So, am I happy that we mollywopped the Jets? Yes.
Well, I think it was much needed. I think you guys needed that.
Yeah, it was a nice stress reliever. It was finally a game. I went to B-Dubs with the boys, sat down. My mom had a coupon. I got 15 free wings. So, I ate for free.
Do the Patriots have like 15 running backs?
Yeah, basically.
Like I saw like 4 guys.
We got Brandon Bolden, Damian Harris, Ramondre Stevenson, J.J. Taylor.
J.J. Taylor, that's what I was thinking of. He looked decent too. I've just never seen him.
Of course, this is and you were also forgetting James White because he got hurt and he's out for the year. But he would be in there too. Patriots love them some running backs. That's why they're useless in fantasy most of the time because nobody knows who's playing.
Yeah, they're all splitting carries between 5 guys.
To get into later, but I am so mad at myself that I did not take the Titans to beat the Chiefs because I wanted to so bad, and I didn't do it, and I know I should have. I literally sat here last week and said I was going to take them, and then didn't do it. And the Titans went out there and wiped the floor with the Chiefs. What was it, 24-0 at halftime?
Yeah. Where did the Chiefs get that field goal first half?
No, I know that. I don't think they scored in the first half. I think it was 24-0.
Yeah, I think it was.
And then, the Titans somehow only kicked a field goal the rest of the game and won 27-3, I want to say.
Yeah, they only had 3. I know they only had 3.
So they went out there and just absolutely murdered them. And it's official. It's funny because I can't remember. I had it in my head, and now I can't remember. Somebody said the Chiefs dynasty is over, like one of the talking heads on TV. First of all, they were never a dynasty, so let's calm down. The Chiefs' run at being, a powerhouse might be over, and it might only be over for this season anyway, because you never know what's going to happen. They could make some trades. They could free up some cap space, actually, get somebody who knows how to play defense. But word to Trent Dilfer, because Josh, I don't know if you remember this as a Patriots fan. I remember this. It's ingrained in my head. He said, the Patriots, let's face it, they're not good anymore. After that Monday Night Football loss to the Chiefs a few years ago, I have it ingrained in my head. I still remember. Well, guess what? I'm having my Trent Dilfer moment. Because guess what? The Chiefs, let's face it, people, they're not good anymore. You know who Patrick Mahomes is tied with? You know what category he's leading in?
Turnovers?
Interceptions. You know who he's tied with? Mr. Zachary Wilson. Yeah. So he's trying to play.
Zach Wilson and Patrick Mahomes are on the same level. I think that's what this means.
I mean, it's pretty obvious if you didn't see that. But listen, I said it, and I wish I had a podcast during the time because I would look so smart. But you can ask my boys. I said that if the Chiefs didn't win that 49ers Super Bowl, they were not going back because it was going to be real rough. And guess what? They went back. They lost. So it doesn't matter. And now, if they go back to the Super Bowl this year, I'll eat my words. I really will. Because I think that there is no shot. Zero. Mahomes is trying to play hero ball, which leads to turnovers, which leads to the defense being out on the field. And let's all, do some math here, people. When you're last in basically everything as a defense, would you say you want your defense on the field more or less, Josh? What would you go with?
I think I'd probably lean less. I think that's,
okay. See, I knew you were pretty smart. And guess what? The Chiefs' defense is on the field more because Mahomes keeps trying to turn it over. With the fumbles, he had one yesterday when Byard punched it right out of his hands. He said that he said he practices it, and he said he noticed that Mahomes didn't have a good grip on it, so he punched it right out. He throws the interception, and he has dumb turnovers. Like, that's the thing that he was getting away with before that he's not anymore. It was he threw a left-handed pass. It was a completion. Well, now he throws a pass when he's about to get sacked, and it turns into an interception. And you know what we call this? Reality. Because I said it last week, and I'm sure I will say it many times again on the show. He's playing in the NFL now. He was playing in Madden. And he's trying to live up to that still. And it's definitely the media's fault, everybody out there, because we were, oh my gosh, a no-look pass and blah, blah, blah. And believe it or not, we can hate on Skip Bayless as much as we want, but he made one of the smartest points ever. He said he knew that the Mahomes era was going to get rough when they stated a couple years ago that Mahomes was practicing left-handed passes and no-look passes in camp. Why? Listen, I know it's fun. I know it's cool. You're going to get on, SportsCenter's top 10. It doesn't work. And look what's happened. Fumbles, interceptions, your defense is on the field, and your defense is terrible. Like, they're so bad. In fact, the fact that they only gave up 86 rush yards to Derrick Henry, that might be their biggest win of the entire year. Because you know what the over-under for him was? 125 and a half. And I was scared to take the under. Because, I was genuinely scared. I was like, it's the Chiefs. He's going to run for 250. So that might be the biggest Chiefs win on defense of the entire year. But they are bad. They're in last place still. There's a real chance that they miss the playoffs. I really don't think that that's out of the question. Because, Josh, let's do this. You ever want to play the ever famous win-loss, loss, win game?
Sure.
All right, so let's go to the Chiefs' schedule right now. We got the Giants on Monday Night Football. Even I'll give them a win.
Win. Well, yeah, win.
Then they play the Packers. I'm going to give them a loss.
Yeah, I'll give them a loss too. Rodgers going to throw for 450.
They play the Raiders. Now, that might sound easy. I don't know. That's a toss-up. I'm
taking the Raiders. I'm taking the Raiders, yeah.
Then they play the Cowboys. I'm going to go with the loss. Then they play the Broncos. I think they'll beat them because they're terrible. Then they play the Raiders again. This one is an Arrowhead, but that still hasn't mattered this year.
Give me the Raiders again.
I think I'll go with the Chiefs here only because it's a divisional, and I think that they usually split games like this. I feel like it's so hard to sweep divisional opponents unless you're the Jets because you're terrible. Then they play the Chargers, and this one is in LA because the Chargers already beat them in Arrowhead, so give me the Chargers again.
Mm-hmm.
Then they play the Steelers. I'll give the Chiefs a win because I just don't think the Steelers' offense is very good.
Yeah, I'll take the
And
Chiefs.
then a game earlier in the year you probably thought was a shoo-in for a win against the Bengals. That is not easy anymore. That is not easy, and we're going to get into that game next. I would give them a loss. It's in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And then they finish the year out with the Broncos, so that's a win. What did we just name, Josh? 3 or 4 wins possibly for the rest of the year?
Yeah.
And listen, it's NFL. Anything can happen. Knowing us, the Chiefs are going to win out, and we're all going to look like idiots. But right now, it is not crazy to say that they're missing the playoffs. And it's also not crazy to say that some of it is on Mahomes' shoulders. I understand the defense, but you can't be playing hero ball either. So they have a lot of problems to figure out. And it's weird because, you look at Nick Wright, who's annoying anyway, had the Chiefs at 17-0 possibly. And a lot of people coming into the season didn't think that was the craziest thing ever. I thought the Chiefs were going to win 15 games. And that's literally not even a possibility anymore. But Josh, I went on a 55-minute rant about the Chiefs. So I'll let you talk now.
Yeah, there's really no way around it. I'll start with the game actually. Uh, shout out to AJ Brown. I used him. I mean, he was in my underdog draft as well. Sign
Use
up,
code
use
Gen Z for
code
$10
Gen
on
Z,
your first deposit, by the way.
get $10. But yeah, that they were very dominant. The offense just got in a groove very early on. Was unstoppable. Derrick Henry throws a touchdown pass, doesn't run it, and then
Still ran it faster
Julio and
than Mahomes
AJ.
had.
Yeah, Julio and AJ against that secondary is just easy money. Like Ryan Tannehill's not an elite quarterback by any means, but he against that secondary it was as easy as throwing against air. Like that's how easy it was going against that secondary. I think everybody knows the Chiefs defense is the worst in the league. I mean they're almost ranked 32nd every category. So they suck this year. I think people are going a little crazy thinking that. I mean, we've seen these NFL teams in the offseason pull money out of their ass just out of nowhere when they're way over the
The
salary
Rams
cap.
still
So
need to be under investigation, by the way.
yeah, so who's to say the Chiefs this offseason don't somehow get 5 or 6 veterans on their defense and that defense improves tremendously? I agree they suck this year. I honestly don't think they make the playoffs this year. I think the AFC is too deep right now when you look at the Chargers, when you look at the Bills, when you look at the Titans, when you look at the Browns, when you look at the Bengals, when you look at the Ravens. I mean, that's 6 teams that are going to have way better records than them, and they're not even winning their own division. They might not even finish second in their own division because the Raiders are good too. So I don't think they make the playoffs this year. Mahomes, I mean, you're right. That magical stuff he did his first few years, it's not working, bro. You can't throw these. I'm going to run straight to the left and turn my body and throw it 40 yards. You can't do that twice a drive anymore. It's just not going to work because teams are figuring out, hey, they're sending Mecole Hardman and Demarcus Robinson to one-on-one so that he can find Kelsey over the middle, so he can find Tyreek over the middle. But now they're like, hey, if you want to throw it to Mecole Hardman and Demarcus Robinson one-on-one deep, go for it. We're just going to stop these 2 guys because that's all you got. And that's all it is. That's all it is. I also think not having Clyde Edwards-Helaire does hurt them. He's been out for, I mean, I think he only played 2 games this year so far. So that does hurt them.
Something like that.
That does hurt them, but I mean, this offense just hasn't been able to get it done. I mean, 3 points. Granted, the Titans' defense looked really, really good. They played really well.
Here's the thing that's nerve-wracking too. You know who one of their starting corners was?
Who?
A random dude that I don't remember his name. It's his 9th team that he's been on. He's been in the league since 2017.
Arizona's practice squad they picked up this week. Yeah.
Yeah. They picked him up on Tuesday. He's starting against Mahomes. They scored 3 points.
Yeah.
We saw what Josh Allen and the Bills did to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're a different set of shoes away from losing that game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's tough to see the Chiefs go down like this, but I think we got to take away the focus from the Chiefs on this game and applaud the Titans. I mean, in 6 days they beat the Bills and the Chiefs in the same week. They did that, so I think they need to get more credit than we are tearing down the Chiefs. Obviously, the Chiefs played awful. It was not good at all. But I think we need to give the Titans a little more credit because I do still believe in the Chiefs. So I think they're going to win, as many Super Bowls as Brady and them did. But people also got to realize this. Peyton Manning's a legend, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Only won 1 Super Bowl in Indianapolis in all of his time there. Russell Wilson, one of the best quarterbacks in the league for his whole time here, only has won 1 Super Bowl. So it's not like people are doing what Tom Brady has done. Not a lot of people are winning that many Super Bowls in their career. So I think people got to realize the fact that they got one early like that is huge. And I still think he's talented enough. I think they're still offensively talented enough to put it together this offseason. But obviously, I think this season's a wash. I don't think they make the playoffs. They just suck this year.
Yeah, and it's weird, too, because, we always hear, exaggerations and stuff like that. Like, I remember when the Eagles beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl, and then, like, the next offseason there was, some chatter about people not liking each other, whatever, blah, blah. And everybody was like, oh, the Eagles ended the Patriot dynasty, whatever. And then they went on to win the Super Bowl anyway.
Yeah.
But the Bucks might literally have ruined the Chiefs. And
Very
my
possible.
reasoning for that is, and Shannon Sharp says it like every week, and I don't know exactly what it means because I obviously didn't play in the NFL and I'm not a Hall of Fame tight end like he is, but they play shell coverage against
Hmm.
every team plays shell coverage against the Chiefs now,
It's
and that's
easy.
what the Bucks did.
Because like you're gonna Patrick Mahomes is very good, but you just force him to beat you. You force him to make these magical throws because you can't do it every play, and that's what we've seen. You're right. I mean, this cover deep, this shell coverage that everybody's doing, they're not sending the house at him. They're forcing him to do it. It's working.
And the thing about shell coverage is from what he says is it makes you run the ball, and
Yeah,
the
it makes you.
Chiefs don't
Yeah,
want to run the ball.
because they're
They
basically
might
sending
be
three
able
guys.
to,
That's
but
it.
they don't want to. They literally
Hmm.
do not want to run the ball, and they know teams that are playing the Chiefs know that. Listen, they'll run the ball in one drive, but the next drive, that they're going to start trying to pass it again because that's their identity. And teams are sitting there playing shell coverage and just letting it happen. And the Bucks did that in the Super Bowl, and every team since then has done it. And one of the big surprises to me too is then we can move on, obviously, because we got another important game to get to. Um, their offensive line is not good. Like
Nah,
I don't. That's why I don't understand. They signed Joe Tooney. They traded for Orlando Brown Jr. Like they rebuilt the entire offensive line. It was supposed to be good, and they're not.
nah. I mean, even
So
Mike
it is.
Rivers is a guy they picked up that's decent, and they sucked this year. And it's weird because I mean that was the one thing they focused on this offseason. But they suck.
That was their one weakness coming into the year. It really was.
You think? Do you
Like we
think
knew.
Eric Bieniemy leaves if they miss the playoffs this year? You think he's like, I
I
got one.
mean, I would say yes, but I thought he was going to get a head coaching job the last two off seasons, and he hasn't. So what do I know?
Yeah.
But like you said, a lot of credit to the Titans as well. Like you said, they beat the Bills and the Chiefs in literally the same week. They're
Hmm.
5-2. I think that they're in first place in the conference
I
or
think the
something like.
Bengals are right there with them. The
Oh yeah,
Bengals.
no, the
I
Bengals
think
actually
Bengals,
are.
Bengals, Bills, and Titans have the same record, but Bengals are in first. Right?
You know what, Josh? Because obviously, at the start of the year, everybody had it that the Bengals were going to be leading the conference, the Raiders in second, the Titans in third, the Bills in fourth. That's how everybody
I
obviously
think
had it.
after 7 weeks, we're all like, yeah, it's going to be Cardinals, Bengals, and then we'll see
Yeah,
this. I think everyone agreed on that.
yeah, and then
Maybe I was off.
obviously everybody had the Cardinals being the best, and Green Bay, and I mean everybody else kind of makes sense, but the fact that Arizona is 7-0, but the AFC is so wide open too.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I kind of
everybody
feel
in
like
the
the
AFC
NFC is
has two
better than
losses.
the. I feel like the NFC is better than the AFC this year. Honestly, with the Chiefs sucking, I feel like the NFC is tougher.
See, here's my thing. I don't know because I feel like the AFC has a lot of very good teams, and then the NFC has a couple or like a few, and like the bottom of their division is or like their conference is so bad that it
Hmm.
almost evens out. Because like you could see
Outside of
the
the Jets and
Ravens,
Jags, all those teams in the AFC are competitive. Like they all can win
and
games.
Miami.
That yeah, Miami too. Miami too.
But like you look at the NFC, it's Detroit, disgusting. The Giants,
Mhm.
awful. Philly, awful.
Us,
Washington, awful. San Francisco with Jimmy G, awful.
Carolina, awful. Atlanta, somehow.
Seattle doesn't have Russell, awful.
Hmm.
Chicago, disgustingly bad. So it's weird. The NFL is
I
it's
feel like it's
definitely a
balanced more
priority
because I
right
feel
now.
like the past couple decades, the AFC has been the powerhouse with Pittsburgh and
And
New
guess who
England and all
changed
that.
everything? Brady leaves the
Yeah,
AFC
Tom
one
goes to the
time.
NFC. He brought balance. He brought balance to the force, man. That's what he did. He made it all.
His daughter has held the Lombardi more than the Cowboys have made playoffs in the last 20 years. By the way, just saying, just throwing it out there. But anyway, we move on to the other big game of the week, and that was the Bengals and the Ravens. And obviously, I started it off with the Chiefs and the Titans. So, Josh, why don't you take it away on this one then?
Yeah, I don't think. I think we all were excited to see this game just because the Bengals have been improved this season. But I do not think anyone saw a blowout by the Bengals in this game, especially with how Lamar has been playing and coming back in the recent games. But I mean, the Bengals offense was just unstoppable. Marlon Humphrey, I think we can both agree, is one of the best corners in the league, and
All pro.
he's great man-to-man coverage guy. Jamar Chase put up 201 yards on his head. Like he was unstoppable in this game. They didn't even need Joe Mixon. I mean, actually, Samaj Piran was the best running back in this game for both teams because the Ravens don't have a running back. But the Bengals were just he's not a running back. Don't do that. But
15-31, by the way, this week.
With the Bengals, their defense, I think, needs to get some credit too. Trey Hendrickson was, because I think there's been some underrated signings of this offseason. I mean, you always talk about the Emmanuel Sanders signing. I think Trey Hendrickson for the Bengals is a huge addition to that pass rush. He was in Lamar's face all game. Jesse Bates does what he does, but this game was crazy. I mean, outside of what Lamar threw and ran for, they had 29 yards. Like that was from other running backs. Like that just can't happen. And you said it last week. They depend on Lamar for everything, and when that gets locked up, they have nothing. Because I mean, I think it'd be a different story if J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards were healthy. I think the run game would be much better outside of Lamar. But it can't happen anymore. That teams know now. They're like, it's Lamar. Well, I mean, they've been known. Lamar's just that good that he still finds ways to win games. But when you're going up against offenses that are going to put up 41 like that, it's going to be very, very tough to compete with them. But it was just very impressive from the Bengals. I mean, they're in the first place now. That defense has improved. Obviously, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, I tweeted out, they're going to be so fun to watch over the next decade. I mean, they're going to be so good together. Obviously, both went to LSU. And now, I mean, Jamar Chase has 750 yards through the first half of the season. And he's on pace to have a Randy Moss type rookie year. So it's insane to say, especially because everyone was saying he was going to go to the XFL during the preseason. That's how everyone was clouded up when he was dropping passes, and now he's just out here leading the league in yards. It's insane, but yeah, it sucks for Baltimore. This game is not one you want to lose. You obviously want to win a game like this, but I don't think it's the end of them for this season either. I still think they're a very good football team. I liked what I saw out of Rashad Bateman for them at the receiver position. He got open finally. I mean, he's been injured, I think, most of this year, but this game he was fully healthy and he was getting a lot of looks. I like to see that. Mark Andrews showed why he's one of the best tight ends in the league too. He was making some crazy catches, getting open. I mean, it's not the Ravens weren't moving the ball. It's just Lamar made some bad decisions, and the offensive line just couldn't protect him long enough to finish off when they got into the Bengals territory. But I think it just shows more about the Bengals. I don't think this really derails the Ravens a lot. They still have where are they, 5-2 still, or 4-3 or something?
Yeah, I believe they're 5-2.
Yeah, so I mean they're still right up there with the Bengals and the Bills. So I don't think this hurts them too much, but very impressive win from the Bengals.
Yeah, like you said, I think the main thing I took away from this, because I said it last week. Excuse me. I said it last week that I wouldn't have been surprised if the Bengals somehow kept this game close, and if they even won the game. Because like I've always said, division games usually are kept close, and you never really know what's going to happen in those type of games. But the fact that they went out there and just destroyed them is what was obviously surprising. And I'm going to admit that I was absolutely wrong, 100% wrong, that I sat here and clowned the Bengals all offseason and during the draft when they didn't take Sewell. Because you needed to make that offensive line better, because Joe Burrow got hurt last year because he was running for his life and taking hits, and I think he was the most sacked quarterback at the time he got injured and everything like that. And, I sat here and said that they should have taken, an offensive lineman and all this, that. Well, guess what? This is exactly why Joe Burrow was literally in the GM's office saying, please, for the love of God, draft Jamar Chase. And he was right. Sometimes you're just right. He has the most receiving yards through 7 games for a rookie all time, and he turns a 5-yard pass into an 84-yard touchdown.
That was insane.
And it was just simply the right choice. He brings a new element to the offense, obviously. And you start looking at it, they have a very good offense. Like that really wasn't going to be the problem coming into this year. We were kind of more worried about the defense, and even the defense. You look at what they did against the Ravens, a team that just, puts up points every week, it seems like, shut them down as well. So obviously, maybe this is a letdown week for the Ravens. Coming off of a nice victory last week, and still, maybe you overlook the Bengals, thinking that maybe they're not as good as the record says they are, but they went out there and proved something to me at least, and it was very impressive. I think that they definitely have enough, to make maybe not a Super Bowl run, but definitely a playoff run. I wouldn't be surprised if they won a game, maybe even two, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to commit yet, even though they are 5-2, and like I said, they're number one in the conference, so there isn't really a reason I shouldn't. But I'm still hesitant. I think I would still pick the Bills over them. I still think that the Ravens are better than them. I would still put the Chargers above them, but it's impressive. If they keep doing this, you really have no choice but to give them their respect. And so far that they've earned it, throughout this year, they kept it close with the Packers. Probably should have won that game if we're all being honest with each other. They beat the Ravens, so they've had some nice games here. So good on them. And to the last point of the Ravens being Lamar centric, like you said, I said it last week. You got to find different aspects somehow. I know that the running backs are hurt and everything like that, but go out and make a trade or something. Find somebody. Old Le'Veon
Tony
Bell.
Pollard. Go get Tony Pollard. See if you can pry him from the Cowboys.
Yeah, apparently Tony Pollard is a god. You missed the whole conversation about Tony Pollard. That's why I said it like that. But go find somebody, because Le'Veon Bell and Freeman and all these other random people that you're putting out there clearly aren't getting the job done. And Lamar finds a way to never get hit, but it's the NFL, and one of these days it's going to happen. He's going to get laid out one of these days, and right when that happens, your season's over. It is absolutely over. And, it's like that for a lot of quarterbacks. Obviously, if they get hurt, the backup clearly isn't as good. But I feel like it's a new level for the Ravens, because if Lamar gets hurt, that's their offense. Maybe if God forbid Brady got hurt or something like that, I think a quarterback could come in and not do what he does, but at least
Blaine Gabbert's great. Blaine Gabbert's great.
But you know what I mean? He can come in and at least, oh, look, I can throw the ball to Mike Evans too. But you replace Lamar with somebody, it's like, I don't really think we can run.
And the worst part about that is their backup. Their backup is very, very. He's basically Lamar, just not as good. Like, he's the same type of quarterback. If they had a veteran backup who wasn't mobile, then I think you can switch up the offense and throw the ball. But if he's just like Lamar, you're going to run the same offense. It's just not going to work.
Yeah. But we once again move on from there and go in to our segments here where who's your QB of the week, Josh?
Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is my quarterback of the week. Not only was it a big win, he went 23 of 38, 416 yards, and 3 touchdowns in a big game. So he's definitely my quarterback of the week.
You know what? I was going to go with Joe Burrow. But let's be a homer, baby. Let's go with Mac Jones. 307 yards, 2 touchdowns, led a rout of the Poverty Jets. First ever 300-yard performance out of Mac in his young career.
I think this is my first time in a couple weeks not picking the quarterback that played against the Patriots.
Yeah.
Because I picked Davis Mills.
See me happy.
And I don't know who I picked last week, but yeah.
Who did they play last week? Oh, the Cowboys.
Yeah, I picked Dak.
Picked Dak. You're a bad guy. Bad guy. Like I said, we need. I wanted to start the hashtag down below in the comments, bad guy Josh, but one of these days. Who was your player of the week?
You're gonna like this. It's Damian Harris. Not only did he win me money, go down to dog when he signed up first deposit, code Gen Z, $10 with first deposit, but he had a great game too. I think he had like 14 carries over 100 yards and a couple tutties. So yeah, he's my player of the week.
I'm going to go with Mr. Mike Evans. A big game, had 3 touchdowns, almost got murdered by Tom Brady because he gave away a 600th passing touchdown ball. But they got it back. And by the way, Fan made a terrible deal. I think he got like a different game ball.
Do you really think there was any chance he got out of that stadium with that game ball if he didn't just give it to him? 0 chance. Security has came and taken game balls for much less. There's no chance he leaves.
First of all, they gave him the ball. He didn't steal it. So
yeah,
that's
Mike Evans did, but they were going to come and get it. Like
That's
there was
my
zero
ball.
chance he leaves.
That's
There's
my
zero chance anyone
Listen,
leaves
all
that
I'm saying
stadium
is
with that
I
ball.
obviously love Mr. Brady. He's over my right shoulder or left. No, right shoulder. Yeah, I hate the stupid mirror thing with the camera. Um, there is no shot I'm giving up that game ball unless I can meet the man. And that wasn't even one of the things. He's getting like some nice stuff from Brady, some other game stuff, and then a different game ball. No,
$1,000 for the
sir.
gift. $1,000 to the store. You get a couple jerseys. You get Brady and Mike Evans to sign them too. Maybe make a little bit of bread.
Nah, that. What do you mean? That ball is probably worth 500,000.
Probably, but like I said, there's zero. They've came into the stands and taken game balls for much less accolades. For 600 passing touchdowns for Tom
Nah.
Brady, you think they were letting him leave with that ball? No chance.
Oh yeah,
Zero chance.
I'm finding a way.
And if he
That's
did leave the
500
stadium,
racks right there.
if he did leave the stadium, there's a good chance it's someone's at his door when he gets home. Like there's no way he gets away with that ball. There's zero chance.
By the way, my Alex Collins prop is looking fantastic right now. First 3 plays of the game, right to Alex Collins for a first down.
So Gerald Everett to get the ball, get it to Gerald Everett.
I'm also gonna, but I will say I will need Mr. Geno Smith to start throwing the ball occasionally because I need over 18.5 completions. But I'm sure that will happen eventually. Anyway, those were our QBs and players of the week. Now, of course, we have to add somebody to our prayer circle. So together we pray. Josh, do you have anybody to add?
I think just due to the Zach Wilson incident, we obviously say prayer for him, but I think we throw in the Jets fans this week. It's tough. Not only do you let up 50 points, but
54.
your franchise quarterback goes down. So we're gonna have the Jets for this week. Jets fans.
I'm gonna stick with fans and quarterbacks because first of all, I hope that Justin Fields is being prayed for daily because he's on his Joe Burrow from last year. I think he leads the league in hits and everything like that. And then Bears fans. I mean, you thought that he was going to come in and fix everything. No.
It's bad over there.
It's just not a good time. It really isn't. It really is not. And then next up, of course, put some respect on my name. Josh, do you have anybody for this?
Michael Pittman. Put some respect on Michael Pittman's name. The man mossed somebody last night to end the game. He's been great all year. He's been Carson's go-to guy in this offense with T.Y. out. He needs some respect too. He's a very good young receiver.
I'm going to stick with Colts here. I am. One of them, Jonathan Taylor. Because let me tell you something. Jonathan Taylor, different kind of man. That's a grown man.
Oh, yeah.
And the second one is Wentz-Annapolis, baby. All those times.
The play is never over with Carson Wentz. The play is never dead. There's always a chance. There's always something.
Who's been on the Wentz bandwagon? This guy. Me right here.
He almost threw away the game last night.
I was told I was crazy. I was told that it's over. He's bad, blah, blah, blah. No.
One day, if he does win an MVP, you called it.
I'm just saying.
You called it.
I am just saying. I called it. So I'm sticking with Mr. Wentz-Annapolis, Wentz VP, the WVP of the NFL. Put some respect back on Carson Wentz's name. Frank White got him looking correct out there. And now, finally, people, we got winners and losers. I forgot about that as well. We have so many things we do on this show,
Am I going first?
Oh, yeah, you go, because I totally forgot about this, so I don't even have anybody.
Yeah, I only have
I'm going to look some people up, don't you worry.
I only have 3. Bengals, obviously big winners. I think they're the biggest winner this week. That Bucks fan. So I don't care what everyone's saying. You could have made $500,000. He was either going to get shot and the ball was going to get taken, or he gives it to them and gets something.
He said he was going to get shot.
Like, I don't think people understand how serious those guys are. Like, he was not leaving with that ball. He made the smart move. And also, you're a bad guy if you steal that ball. You're a bad guy. Give it back to Tom Brady. That's a legendary football. Don't be a scumbag.
I need to meet the man at least.
You can ask for that, but don't be a scumbag and try to run away with it.
Oh, no, I'm out of there if they say no.
On National Tight Ends Day, the tight ends were all winners. They combined all tight ends on Sunday for 9 touchdowns. They had a great day all around. CJ Uzama had a great game. There were a lot of good stuff coming out of tight ends on Sunday on National Tight Ends Day, and I don't think we give enough respect to the work tight ends do. So they're big winners.
You don't have any losers?
I thought you were going to give winners, but I'll go losers. NFL rules and the NFL in general. Taylor Heineke, that should have been a touchdown. That's the dumbest call I've ever seen in my life. I get it. Quarterbacks need to be protected, but when you're inside the 5 and he's clearly not going to get touched, he's just diving for the goal line. Just let him get the touchdown. They called him down because he was giving himself up and he's a quarterback, but he wasn't touched. I think that's bullshit. So the NFL are losers. Chiefs, big losers just this whole season. Big losers. Lions, I mean, they pulled out all the tricks. Onside kick in the first half, fake punts. They had the lead, and they lose. So they're losers. And Panthers fans, we've been deceived, led astray, run amok by Scott Fitterer and David Tepper. We made 10 trades in the draft. We traded for Sam Darnold. We got Stephon Gilmore. Blah, blah, blah. We suck. So thanks a lot.
Listen, I'll gladly take Gilmore back, by the way.
You can have him, man. I don't want to see him over here rotting. At least he has a shot in New England.
I'll stick with tight ends, like you said, for the winners. Zach Ertz. I'm going to single him out, though. He gets to leave Philly and go to a 7-0 Cardinal team. And then not only that, Josh, did you know that touchdown he scored was the longest of his career?
And he also gave no, I don't think it was that ball. But on his way out, there was one Eagles fan with his jersey in the stands, and he gave him like his gloves or something.
What a guy! What a freaking guy! I'll stick with that division. It's a different game, but I once again have to label Matt Stafford as a winner. Man went out there against his former team, 334 yards, 3 touchdowns. They're 0-7 right now, and he's currently sitting at 6-1, chilling in LA. And Jared Goff is probably alone. It's probably raining.
Freezing in Detroit. Yeah. His power went out. He's just
Matt Stafford's with his wife, sitting by the pool. It's probably 75 still. So what a life for him. Losers, the Jets as a franchise. You thought everything was going to get better when Brady left, didn't you? Guess what? It doesn't. I'm just going to end it there. Not only because I didn't prepare for that, but because I think the Jets are such losers that nobody else should even be in the category. Just saying. Josh, tell us who did better on the picks, even though I know I didn't tie because you tweeted it out.
Yeah, we had the same record this week. We both went 8-4. So we're right at where we are.
I'm so mad I did not take the Titans.
I'm so mad that you pressured me into taking the Niners. That's what I'm mad about. I'm mad I caved. That's what I'm mad about because I knew the Colts were going to win that damn game, and I still was like, I might as well just go for the Niners. Atlanta wins. If I had the Colts, then I would have gained another game in the difference. Would have made it a 3-game lead.
And that's the other thing. Atlanta finds a way to lose all the time. The one time I picked, I picked against them. Yeah. And this is the one time they find a way to win. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Never seen anything like it.
The Falcons really threw the game away, like they always do. Not right, fumbled, Dolphins drove.
They tried. They certainly tried.
Shout out Young Wei Koo.
No, hate him. Never been a fan.
Josh,
what do you think is this Monday Night Football game though? Before we get into our picks,
Monday night. It's. I'll go Saints. I
was gonna say I got the Saints as well. I'm not a big Geno guy.
I love Geno.
But anyway, we will go over to our Week 8 predictions with this beautiful graphic that your boy made once again. Round of applause for me, as I think I deserve it. But okay, Geno, look at you going deep to DK. Oh my gosh, DK get to go. Oh, touchdown! We have that has to be a 75-yard touchdown by DK Metcalf. Let's see. Does it show the yardage here, people? He just bodied whoever was covering him. 84 yards. 84? A nice 84-yard DK Metcalf touchdown. And to think I was going to take his over in yards and didn't do it. I hate myself once again. So he just bodied Marshawn.
I drafted Alvin Kamara over him. I probably should.
What was that?
DK. I drafted Alvin Kamara over him. Still think that's the right move, but that kind of makes it look like
That stings just a tad bit. Definitely a tad. But anyway, let's get into our Week 8 picks. Of course, brought to you by Underdog Fantasy, where you can use code Gen Z to get $10 on your first deposit, people. It is a wonderful time, if I say so myself. I'm having a great time, at least. Josh is doing the drafts. I'm more of a pick 'em kind of guy, although I should probably get back into the drafts, considering that's where I win my money. Josh, one more thing, by the way, before we get into this. I was down 14 points in my fantasy game. That one play by DK just gave me the win, as long as he doesn't fumble or catch a pass for negative 50 yards now. So your boy is lit now. But anyway, let's get into the games. We started off on Thursday Night Football. Probably this might be the best game of the week, by the way. Thursday Night Football, we got the Packers and the Cardinals. Josh, who do you have?
Of course, you're gonna make me pick this one first.
Why? You want me to pick? I'll go.
I'm gonna go with Green Bay. Go Green Bay.
I am going to go with Arizona, especially because Devontae Adams is out because of COVID.
Nuh-uh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, this is why we do
Alan
research,
Lazard, baby.
Josh.
Alan Lazard. Here we go.
This is why we do research, people.
We got Big Bob Tynan still.
Oh, no. Big COVID guy, Devontae Adams is.
God, man.
So I'm going with
when did he get COVID? When did he get COVID? Like an hour ago? Or did I just miss this
about 3 or 4.
So I just missed it completely. Wow.
You know what? Some people prepare for the show, and others don't.
I'm sorry, I did not prepare for one of the games.
Next up, we have my boys, the New England Patriots, at the LA Chargers. Josh?
Yeah, I think LA needs they got this bye week after the tough loss, so I think they bounce back with a win.
This is hard for me.
Do it. I mean, Mac Jones was your quarterback of the week.
He was.
50
the Patriots did beat them 47-0 last year, I believe. I don't know, 42, 49, 47, something like that. But you know what? No, I will stick with them.
Yeah.
Because Josh is going to stick with the Panthers anyway, so maybe we can even out here. I'll go with the Pats. Why not? I thought that they would lose last year to the Chargers, and they ended up beating them. So why not? Bill was very good against rookie and sophomore quarterbacks, and he saw what happened last year against Justin Herbert, so maybe he cooks up the same game plan. And now we have an actual QB, unlike we did last year, so it's possible. Next up, we have Josh's guys, the Panthers, up against those Falcons. Josh, how we feeling?
Not good. Stephon Gilmore should play this game. He could have played this week, but he didn't travel, so he should be active in this game. And maybe he gets it done for us, but I've never not picked the Panthers, and I'm not gonna end it against the damn Falcons. So yeah, give me Carolina.
This is a game that I feel like I should pick the Panthers in because I think that they will win it. Because the Falcons, I know, are just going to end up screwing me. But I'm going to go with the Falcons.
Kind of, we've disagreed on every game so far. This could be the week for you. You're taking a shot. You're taking a shot.
I know. So I'm going to go with the Falcons. I don't know how confident I am, but why not? Stranger things have happened. Next up, we have the Eagles and the Lions. Josh, who you got?
Right now, I feel like I'm really going back to my old ways in this pick'em. Because I want to take the Lions really, really badly. And I'm going to. I'm going to take the Detroit Lions to get their first win of the year.
You know what, Josh? You kind of ruined my plan here because I want to take the Lions too. I really do.
Let's do it. We're Lions fans. That's what we do.
You know what? Sure, I will take the Lions. I was going to take the Eagles to disagree again. But you know what? I think we can stand in unison and say that the Lions just don't deserve what has happened to them. So let's go Lions. Next up, we have an easy one here. The Dolphins and the Bills. I assume we're both going Bills here.
Absolutely, man.
Next up, we have
why is Malcolm Brown getting more carries than Myles Gaskin? Why?
Yeah, see,
what's happening?
Listen, I've given up on that. Although I did play Myles Gaskin in my fantasy this week, 17.7. 67 yards and a receiving touchdown. So I'll take it. Why not? Next up, we have an ugly game, though. 49ers and the Bears. You're only watching this game if you're a fan of one of them. Josh, who do you have?
I feel like both of these teams are the wrong answer, but I guess I'll take San Francisco.
Yeah, I'm gonna go San Francisco as well. I think it's the lesser of two trashes.
Yeah.
Now we got the Steelers and the Browns. I don't see. This is so hard. This is why I hate doing a show on Monday, Josh. I don't know who's playing for the Browns.
How about we do this? If Baker and one of Chubb or Hunt are back, because I think if that situation, we're taking the Browns. But if it's Case Keenum, then we're taking the Steelers. How about we do that?
All right, deal.
Or are you still taking the Browns with Case Keenum?
It really wouldn't be the craziest thing. No, I'm taking the Browns in this game no matter what.
Okay.
So you're going with the Browns if Baker.
I said I'm doing it. But then if Baker and both Chubb and Kareem Hunt, but if I get one of the running backs, I'll ride with you.
I think you need to make one singular decision. I think it's only fair.
That's kind of stupid, but
I don't think so.
Fine, I'll go with you. I'll go with the Browns.
Okay, that's fair.
It's ruined a good situation for both of us.
Yeah, Next up, another easy one. Rams, Houston. Not even worth talking about. The Rams are going to win probably by 25. Now we have a division battle. This is a big one here, people. We got the Titans at the Colts. Who's winning, Josh?
Listen, I get it. You love Carson Wentz, man, but the Titans are gonna kill him. They're gonna kill him. Give me the Titans all day.
I don't think they're gonna kill
him.
I'm picking the Colts. I'm picking the Colts. I think they figured it out these past few games. They've looked good. Wentz, fewest interceptions in the NFL. I'm sticking with the Colts, baby. You're damn right. Next up, we have the Bengals and the Jets. Another easy one. I don't even know who the quarterback for the Jets is. So we'll go with the Bengals, Josh, I assume.
Yep.
Now this can be interesting. This game right here could be interesting. We got the Jags and the Seahawks. Josh, what are you thinking?
Honestly, I think you're probably going to take the lead this week. No. Well, I
got some risky picks in there.
Well, I picked the Panthers. I think I'm risky. I will go with the
Patriots.
I will go with. God, this is stupid. I guess give me Jacksonville. Give me Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer. I guess.
You know what, Josh? The craziest part about that is I was going to go with Jacksonville. So this is not the craziest thing ever. I think we're both up. I think we're both here on the upset train. I could see it.
Okay. It's just this shouldn't be a tough decision, but just the way the NFL works, Seattle's not good. It sucks.
Russ, we need you back to make these decisions a lot easier. Next up, Washington at the Denver Broncos. This is another game that if you watch for fun, you should be examined. Absolutely should be examined. I'm going to go Washington, though.
Listen, Scott Hansen, NFL Red Zone makes every game fun, okay? So it doesn't matter who's playing. Scott Hansen makes it a good game. But, yeah, I love Taylor Heineke. I'm also going Washington.
Next up, we have the Bucs and the Saints. Now, if this is last year, could be interesting. This year, no, I don't think so. So I'm going with the Bucs, Mr. Tampa Bay.
Yeah, the Bucs are just unstoppable. I'm definitely going with the Bucs too.
And this is intriguing, I think. I really do think it is an intriguing Sunday night football game. The Cowgirls and the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota. Who do you got, Josh?
I just want to first say if this total doesn't hit like 86 points, it's a disappointing game. But I'm going with Dallas. I think they're very good this year.
Yeah, I sadly got to go with them as well. Especially, you want to know main reason, Josh? It's a primetime game. We know Kirk Cousins doesn't know how to play in that.
Yeah.
So those are our Week 8 picks. Obviously, we will find out what happens, and we will report it back to the people. But, Josh, I think that's another successful show, as per usual. So I think we ended off there. Unless you got anything else to say, Josh, where can the people find you?
Follow me on Twitter at Jolin_4. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Get us to 100 subs. Giving away an Amazon gift card. Go to Underdog. Your first deposit. Use code Gen Z, $10. So make sure you take advantage of that because, we've been saying it. You put in this many, it gets doubled. You put in this many, they give you this many. Like you doubled your money before you even used any of it.
You didn't even have to make a bet.
It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple.
Listen, I was never good at math. Not one time in my life has anybody ever accused me of being good at math. I know what 10 plus 10 is. Just saying. Yes, as for me, Anthony Conover _ on Twitter. Make sure you follow me over there. Gen Z Sports, obviously, for this show. Get us to 200 followers over there. And then, like Josh said, subscribe to the YouTube. 100 subs over there. When we hit both of those, giving away that Amazon gift card. So if you want free money, just do it. Tell your friends. Listen, make a fake account. I don't care. Go ahead. You only increase your odds of winning. Tuesdays, I do the hard count with me and CJ. We talk about everything in the NFL. We go over literally every single game, give our thoughts on them, and then predict the next week. Thursday, Backstop Banter. Me and Michael talk about everything in the baseball world. We have a World Series, people. Our World Series has been set. We got the Astros.
Hey, you know who's playing? The one guy I talked about one time
Mr.
on the
Pablo
show.
Sandoval.
The one guy, isn't that crazy? The one guy I've ever brought up.
Oh, look at DK and Marshawn Lattimore getting a little scrappy out here. Listen, honestly, if DK gets ejected, I wouldn't even be that mad because that means I automatically win my fantasy game and I don't got to be worried about him fumbling somehow. But with that being said, Backstop Banter, like I said, Thursdays, that's at 10 Eastern. We have a World Series, Astros and the Braves. We'll break that down, obviously. We're getting close to free agency and, the offseason, of course. So we'll get into some stuff like that as well. But thank you, everybody, for joining the show once again. Thank you for the comments. Go check out the podcast. Leave a review. Leave a like. Do all that. And then, like Josh said, most importantly, go to Underdog Fantasy. Use code Gen Z. Put in this many. And you get this money as well. 10 plus 10, $20. Look at that. Beautiful math. But with that being said, we will see you guys next week. Thank you for tuning in.